So you wanna go to war with me? You're talking like you think you're royalty. You think that I'm afraid, but I don't break. I heard you question my stability. You think I'll fall just like a guillotine, but I am here to stay. Won't look away. The storm is coming, so you better start running. No, you can't control, feel it in my bones. I'm coming for the, coming for the. I'm coming for the throne. I'm coming for the throne. So you wanna be my enemy? You should've known I'd never kiss the rain. Ice runs in my veins, won't play it safe. I don't belong with your nobility. Who died and made you king of anything? You think that I'm insane? It's your mistake. Kingdoms rise and fall. I've come to take it all. I'll take it. I've come to take it. Kingdoms rise and fall. I've come to take it all. I'll take it all. The storm is coming, so you better start running. No, you can't control, feel it in my bones. I'm coming for the, coming for the. I'm coming for the throne. I'm coming for the throne.
Where's my webcam again? Hello? Was not working? Ah, there we go. Hello, hello, hello. How you doing, guys? Welcome back to another stream for me. Yo, QQ. Yeah, that's true, that's true. You was already here as the first guy. That's true, that's true. Shion was slacking. Shion was slacking. Was not the first person to be in the chat when I pre-scheduled the stream. Yo, Darkin. Lord Diva, welcome everyone, welcome. Hope you're doing good. Hey, how are you doing? Yeah, I'm doing good. It's getting better for me. My my health situation is getting better. I can tell that. I have also now how is it called in English? Is it the same way how it's called in English? No, hold on. How physiotherapy? Yeah, physiotherapy. And I think it's already helping. At least it feels like that. Overall, it's getting better, I would say. So let's see how long it's gonna take to completely recover from it. But yeah. What does leadership has to do with piloting problem? Isn't it a game problem? Well, not exactly. Not exactly. And that's something I want to talk about today, because I think a lot of people don't even really have on their mind that leadership is one of the... Oh, wait. Why is the game too big? That leadership is actually one of the reasons why piloting became overall a thing. As big as it is now, I would say. It is not the main reason, in my opinion, but there is definitely an impact from the leadership on the pilot problem, right? Now with the recent update where we have now War Frenzy and stuff like that, and I already mentioned that in the other stream. But the thing is, it is not just a game problem. It is not just Lilith's fault. I think a main reason here for all of this pilot problem is because it started as a thing, right? It was small and people like the big spenders only had accounts to maintain themselves being on the feed 24/7, right? That where the piloting started, right? But at some point it started to be a must-have, especially in the Imperial kingdoms, for everyone to have a pilot. And there are legit leadership out there who are pushing people to get a pilot on their account. They're pushing people to get their information giving out to other people to get themselves a pilot. And if that is the case, like, it is a crazy thing, right? If you think about that. But I already said it on the other stream. It is at this point, it is emotional threatening. It is emotional abusing of the fact that you in the kingdom and you maybe don't want to leave because your friends are there, right? But your leadership is telling you, hey, you're either gonna get a pilot or you're gonna get kicked out or zeroed, right? And it is emotional abuse. And if there are leadership out there who are doing that and pushing you towards doing that, think about that, guys. That is a big impact on the game, right? And I know for a fact there are leaderships out there who are actually doing that. It's crazy. Yo, Gamebreaker, how are you doing? Welcome, team. Many kings and most top kingdoms have sent king mail. You either have a pilot or if you won't play here, simple. Yeah. And that is something which I not agree on. It is there's a couple points which I think leadership have no right to do at all. It is the spending, what you're doing on the game. They cannot tell you to share your account. They cannot tell you to send out resources and stuff like that. Like you can say you want to have a kingdom bank, but at the end, why you want to have a kingdom bank? Like you just having double tax costs on something, and then at the end nowadays people really have enough resources. It's not really, but when it comes to like overall telling you what to do with your account, it's just so wrong. It is the same thing with like I would go to your personal life. And I would tell you, hey, you cannot have that in your apartment. You cannot do that. You cannot eat that. You cannot buy this and this. You get the point, right? It is direct impact on someone else's matters. It is direct impact on someone else's stuff, right? And I mean, you're also not doing it in the personal life of someone in real life, right? But why is it okay to be accepted in the video game? It is the same thing. Like people getting into your life, getting into your playstyle, getting into your thing. It is your account, right? So why is it okay that people accepting that in a video game, but for example would not accept it in their real life? That's just a double standard to me. Leadership exists to recommend, not to force people to do something. Exactly, yeah. That's the main point. The job of the leadership is not to tell people what to do with their account. They are there to guide them and to get them into a helpful direction if they ask them for help, right? But they're never able. They never should be able to do a direct abusing of that situation or of anything. Like, leadership should not be allowed to do that at all. Not all leadership is about pushing their players. It's also obligated to force their people to play, since other kingdoms are doing it in order to counter downtime and gain an advantage. In my opinion, this issue persists because the game hasn't created a time limit on how much time you can spend fighting each day. Yeah, and yes and no. And wait, there's the issue. The pilot problem became such a problem that the game is now being forced to put out a War Frenzy limit. There should never be a War Frenzy limit, but there should also never be a pilot problem like this. The pilot problem was not created by Lilith, it was created by the players, and now the players having the consequences from this with a War Frenzy limit. It is what it is, right? I personally don't have a problem with a War Frenzy limit because I played COD, right? I know the stamina limit. I have no personal issue with that. And I mean, 16 hours a day of fighting is a lot, right? But if you think about that closely, guys, the pilot problem was created by the people so badly that Lilith now is being forced, probably against their own will, to limit the players' playtime. And the thing is, limiting players is also meaning you will lose players, and you will also lose spending, money being spent on the game, because there's less fighting. In some period of time, there's less fighting, right? When someone could, for example, let's say 80% of the players from the kingdom could play 20 hours on the first day. That's from 80% of the players in this one specific kingdom's 4 hours of fighting usage. So that means you will need overall less resources and less speed ups in a KVK. Now here's the thing, right? Nowadays, it is such a thing that you have 24/7 activity going on in a KVK. When I left Rise of Kingdoms, it was more like you had downtimes. People were actually talking about downtimes, right? But the whole thing became such a thing that now it's just about who have more pilots, who is more 24/7 active on the field. It's nothing about any more down and up and down time, playing around that, using strategies around that. It's just who spends most on pilots, which I think is disgusting for a game like this, right? It should be a community-based game, and the thing just became such a problem because in the first place, leadership pushed people to get pilots. It started with the Krakens, right? Then it went over to the Raids. And at some point, since that was not enough, and everyone was so driven to get the fucking win over a lose, because people nowadays cannot accept the lose, and if you lose, your kingdom is dying. There's a lot of kingdoms who dying after a lose. It's crazy. 35, for example, right? They died after the latest lose they got. And the pilot problem became such a problem that leadership forced people to get a pilot, and it became at some point for the mid spenders too, and maybe even low spender need to have now a pilot, which I think it's crazy. Like, bro, what do you expect from a free-to-play? A free-to-play will not get a pilot. Like, there will not be a pilot out there who's gonna play this game for free. Like, and the issue, not only with that the leadership emotionally abusing this situation and forcing people to get a pilot and abusing their power in that term. The other issue is, in my opinion, that is completely destroying the game balance with that, because it's just making it more and more pay to win in that aspect, right? There is some limitation towards how much of an impact a free-to-play and low spender will have in the game, right? Of course, there's pay to win. Don't get me wrong. The game is pay to win, but the whole piloting becomes even more of a pay-to-win thing. And it just destroys the game balance because what is next? Is it AI who gonna play next? Is that where we going to? If human beings not gonna be playing the game anymore, is it gonna be AI then? Like, at what stage are we in that you know, with the piloting is such a problem? It's crazy to me. There are hundreds of free pilots. It's that fun. If there are already hundreds of free pilots, that's even more crazy because that considered how big the market is already, which is scary. Games are literally having shared partnerships and pilot each other. Okay. Yeah, and that is what I mean. That should be not the case at all in the game, in my opinion. That should not be allowed at all. Like, and now there are players out there, right, which I can understand. They are raging about this limitation on the fighting, right? I can understand that. It is frustrating. When you play the game for years, which had no limitation on fighting, you could play as long as you want. You're responsible for your own playtime, right? But now the game is forced to put out a limitation because the piloting is more of a problem than the limitation it would be. Like, what? The whole force to have pilots is ridiculous. People should get to choose whether they want to share their account or not. Exactly, yeah. Just ban any shared account? Yeah, but you can't do that. Bro, you cannot just ban any shared account. You need to slowly get the pilot problem off. Like, you cannot just ban any shared account when it would mean 99% of the accounts are gone. If Lilith would ban right now every shared account, they would literally have no players. Like, you cannot. You also need to understand the market view from Lilith, right? They cannot just ban their own, like, they would basically go bankrupt, literally. At least from the game, like, they not as the company, but like the game would die basically, because that's how bad the shared account issue is. So the limitation is basically to give some fade over to that there's actually up and down time, which I can understand, but it also preventing towards from that the account which being piloted will be on the feed 24/7, right? So I saw reports of people using pilots that they got warned they can be banned. Yeah, because technically it is against the TOS. It is technically against the terms of services to share their accounts. Yeah, exactly, Porty. Like, from a market placement, Lilith can't ban any shared account, but they can also not ignore the pilot problem, right? It's a double standard here right now. So the 16-hour limitation is basically the middle ground between limiting piloting and not getting on people's nerve and not ban the entire player base, right? It's like the middle ground, in my opinion. Which, bro, I mean, come on, 16 hours a day of fighting, right? Like, for the normal human average being, you cannot even play 16 hours a day, right? Like, who can legit play who can play 16 hours by themselves without pilots? And you have a family, you have a work, you have friends, right? Like, how do you want to take care of all of these things plus you cannot spend 16 hours a day of fighting. The only ones who can play 16 hours of fighting are the content creators who are living by that. The people who are not working, who are having health issues, and if they cannot work, right? Those people can do that. Other than that, yeah, I don't know. They've already started a massive ban on farm and resource setters. I heard 100 million accounts got permanently banned. Damn. No sponsor gift is fine? What do you mean? Posting the shape of Paladin looks back. Huh? What he did? When did you post that? Every time I was on stream. What you mean? Yeah, that was only last time. Like it's not every time. That would be crazy. With the mail? Or which mail? This one? Yeah, it happens. Like I think you're right. I think it happened 3 times. You talking about this account? Or what? Okay, I'm back. Hello. German internet on its best, guys. I'm telling you. German internet in its finest stage. So freaking stupid. Oh, there's already. There's already. There is already. Oh, by the way, guys, you saw that. Oh, this event. This event is so stupid, by the way. This event is so stupid. Like this bundle, not worth at all. Whoever buys this is stupid. Like low spender, mid spender. I would even say no one should buy this. It's just absolutely. You get no gems. You get no VIP points. You have like. I mean, the expansion is good, yeah, but like, bro, what the heck is this? 20-hour piece sheet for 10 euros. I get 24-hour piece sheet. Oh, this is. Oh, you get gems? Oh, okay, never mind then. Why is it not being shown here? Why is it not being shown here? They should show this. Yeah, but even if you get gems, it's not worth. This is whatever. I mean, this is a little bit sad, but like, bro, I will not, like, nah, nah, bro. What the heck is this? I get 75 shares. I think, am I not getting 200 shares from like a regular training bundle? Yeah, one sec. Am I not getting like 200 choice shares from a regular training bundle? 75 feels so low.
Bei uns bekommst du in 6 Folgen easy alles mit, was du wissen musst. Investieren, aber richtig. Jetzt reinhören.
Du, da tanzt der Bär vom Möbelhaus Rabattrumba.
Gibt's doch gar nicht.
Doch,
Let's
bei
see, let's see.
Roller. Bärenstarke Black Weeks bei Roller. Entdecke
The
tierisch
Slef has
günstige
detected that
Angebote
you
mit bis
use
zu
the
75% Rabatt. Jetzt bei Möbelroller.
Vilnius, eine Stadt der
first-party
Architektur,
software to
Kultur,
detect a large number of
Tradition.
barbarian
Und
troops.
riesige leuchtende Bäume und Eislaufkreise und überall heiße Schokolade. Schnee, der unter
Damn.
deinen Schuhen quietscht, Lichter, die wie Sterne blinken und vielleicht...
Yeah, okay, but I mean, bro, third-party. Okay, third-party software like had been always illegal, and they always banned that.
Bist du in Vilnius wieder 5 Jahre alt.
That was always the case. You're not allowed to use like any type of party, like third-party program to synchronize your marches, or like you cannot use AI to run automatically your stuff. You cannot use a bot or something like that. If it being maintained by yourself or someone else as a human being on that account, it is something else. But if you use a third-party software, they always had been going against that. Doesn't matter what type of power the player is. That had always been the case. I remember that from like years ago also, that it already had been being said, like, do not use third-party programs to run anything or do anything. And that goes also for the resource sellers. If they use third-party programs to automatically send their marches out to farm resources, they also being tracked. Like, Lilith is tracking people who are especially using third-party programs to let the stuff being run for the account. And that is going against the, like, this is really something which Lilith continuously banning, is the third-party program using. That is really something they constantly going after. So if you're doing that, then you're just being banned, literally. By the way, I think I forgot to share my link, right? You know how people made fun of saying no one will buy a little resource from the shop edit? Tons of farms got banned, hundreds of accounts, so they do know who's not legit. You know how people made fun of saying no one will buy little resources from the shop they added? Tons of farms got added, got banned, hundreds of accounts, so they do know who's not legit. Wait, you're saying they're banning the resource seller farm accounts which using third-party programs?
You don't like the lights, but it's camera time. Said take the picture, but you rolled your eyes.
Like store-boarding? Or on the market, you say, which we added. What? People already doing store-boarding on that shit? The thing is, they cannot. Lilith cannot ban someone who's like sending resources by themselves, right? Can blame people to they get banned. To be honest, it's not fair to people pay for gems. I don't know. Am I just slacking on something? I just try to understand how people abusing that and not paying gems for that. Am I not understanding something here? By the way, welcome soon, Glenda. How are you doing, man? Nice to see you. Did you know Apple said to us when he went to Dubai meeting, someone from Little walked up to him and they told him, we know who logs in your account and we know how long they do it. See? I always said, guys, when you... Yeah, I mean, it's understandable because it is going against the TOS. It is going against the TOS if you share your account. You know? So if you want to be an official partner from Lilith, you cannot go against the TOS, right? It is something which is not really working together. You know what I mean? Apple had to remove everyone who logged in his account because he was risking sponsorship. Yeah. I mean, it makes sense if you think about that. Like, which company would give you sponsorship, but you actively going against the TOS, right? It's like, I always said I will personally not share my account because I like to see what I achieve by myself, right? If I log on my kill points, I see everything what is there is achieved by myself, right? And the other thing is, if I would become such a big content creator that I could enter the sponsorship program and could get paid by Lilith for doing content, then I'm not risking myself not being accepted because I'm not having anyone on my account other than myself. You know what I mean? I got one main dead since I fell asleep and feared for... Oh no. Oh, that sucks, man. That sucks. 16-hour Warframe won't stop Shane pilot? No, it won't stop piloting at all. But it will reduce the amount of pilot being used on the field. Because the account which being piloted is now having a war frenzy limit on 16 hours. But the pilot itself will not being stopped. The pilot who is running the account will just jump to another account once the 16-hour mark is hit, right? But the account in itself will be stopped. And that's the thing here, right? They want to prevent that 24/7 piloting is happening. And the easiest way by doing that is 16 hours, right? The frequency limit. They not stopping the piloting in itself, but they stopping the limit. They putting a limit on the pilots. By the way, this is really against the way Liv is pushing forward with her account setting. What do you mean? What exactly you mean? Running in mind that the War Frenzy is mostly for open field. Pilots getting released, the War Frenzy goes down. Yeah, true. Like, I think it's not gonna be as bad as people think. But we will see. It's hard to say. We need to see. I think it's not out yet, so we gotta see how it's gonna play out. Reducing the amount of devices in an account can be logged in to reduce pilots. If it's selling account nowadays, now the previous owner logged in and new owner logs in. No, Bazol. No, that's not how it works. When you sell your account via the official page, Lilith is transferring the character from one account to another account. It doesn't mean that two people now have the account. The character will be transferred from one account to another account. So that means the account, you have still two separated accounts, but you have account A moving a character to account B, right? That's it. More is not happening with that account setting. You just move. Lilith is just moving the characters between accounts, and that means if you don't have logged in on the other account, you cannot play the character anymore. Like Lilith have. So here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. On third-party programs, where account selling had been happening the whole time, what the case was that you giving away the whole account. But let's say someone used their personal email and and stuff like that, and didn't want to do that, but they want to sell the account and get some money back. They couldn't do that. Now they're giving the opportunity to those players who can sell their account, a specific character on that account and keeping the account. For example, right? Let's say I have this 73 mil account, right? Let's say I put this character on this page. I don't know, let's say $300. I could sell this, let's say I sell this character for $300. What's gonna happen is this character will be removed from my account. I cannot log in on this anymore, and it will be moved to the seller's account. That's it. But buying an account from Lilith is super not worth it. You had someone on Apple Stream spend 3K, and I promise you, bro, your new account is better than that account. Yeah, but bro, people also need to wait. Like you see what the account has. But it's not like it's a secret what the account has, guys. You can legit see what the account has, because because it's being on that. If you go to that page, you can go to the commanders, you can go to how much power the account has, VIP levels, key points, and all of that stuff. You can see everything what the account has. For example, here's the account, $475. Right? Let's do this. Hold on. So, you see this account here, $475, right? It is level, can immigrate, 80 mil power, VIP 17, key points 4.8 billion. Right? Commanders, HQ expertise, BQ expertise, Neski, Nebu, XY, Guan, QSH, Howard, SC. So you can see which commanders being upgraded. William is 5551, Herman expertise, Artemisia expertise. You can see the expertise commanders here. You can see the equipment, right? You can see the armaments. You can see the exact amount of troops what this account have, right? You can see everything in detail. You can see the legendary skins what this account has. You can see the items in itself. Right? So if, I don't know, like, of course, you need to be aware. So this one, for example, 10k. This one will not be worth 10k, for sure not. 10k is absolutely stupid. So if you buy an account for 3k, you need to be sure what it has. Like if you just see, like, I don't know, no one will buy this account for 10k. No one. Because it's cheaper to get the account here for $475 and just work on it, rather than spending 10k gems at 10k bucks on this account. You know what I mean? Like, market on Discord is very different when yeah, the thing is, the Lilith market isn't new. It's being established just lately, right? It is, I think it's still just on, is it just on, is it still just on USA? Or can everyone do that now? Is it now on the whole? I don't know. So this one, for example, 10k, right? Power 200 mil, 23 billion K points. He's saying 11 Zenith skins. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Right? He got Twilight Forge, so that falls out in a thing, the Persian Dream. Ever than that, he got 11 Zenith skins, he got the Persian Dream and Twilight Forge. I expect every commander to be expertise. If you expect 10k to be paid on this account, then better every commander's expertise. It kind of looks like all the SFC commanders are expertise. Equipment. Iconic level 1. Wait. Iconic level 1, iconic level 2, 1, 1, 1, 5. So his main set of calf gear is not even full iconic level 5, and it is on server 1220. It looks, I think that's the server number. Right? This is what I mean. Like, this account is not worth 10k. If anyone buys this shit for 10k, I don't know what the fuck you're dropping on. Only for you say, wait, so imagine this whole thing gonna be published for the whole world. It's gonna be completely different. Like, whoever buys this account for 10k is absolutely delusional. I can just buy this account for 475, invest like probably half of the money what I would pay for this account and get better freaking marches. Easy. Easy. For sure I can do that. Look at this account. 1.8k, 200 mil. VIP 18, 5.7 billion key point. He got 22 less legendary commanders expertise. He got 15 legendary equipment. A lot of less special talent equipment. Special equipment is 11 different. Rare inscription is 7 different. Right? But it's 1.8k again. You invest half of the price from this one into this account, you get better stuff in this one. You know, like, it is very ridiculous the prices here on some accounts because it is only limited to USA. So the market is very, very small. Most players, most players are in the Asian region, you know, so. I would say. I think most players are in the Asian region. The problem here is that you are an experienced player and people buying from here probably are new and all they see is shiny max commanders and gold equipment, so they just drop the money. Right. But their own fault, man. Sorry. But like, if you're a new player, I mean, if you're a new player, the first thing what I'm not doing is buying an account. The first thing what I do is, if I want to buy an account, I would inform myself about what is the actual thing. Like, what is the usual price market. I would go ahead and look up on the official Discord. Like, not on the official Discord, but like, I would ask people, you know, like what is the price? What is correct to do so? What is not correct to do so? And that have nothing to do with my experience. That is just logical thinking, in my opinion. I'm sorry, like, you know what I mean? Like, it is not hard to go ahead and just do a quick information gathering about this.
Abonniere jetzt Couch Career auf Spotify und verpasse keine Folge. Alle 2 Wochen gibt's was Neues auf die Ohren. Jetzt reinhören.
I don't know. That's how I see it. Alright. Let's see, what is the poll saying so far? We have... Ooh. It's pretty even, damn. 23 votes, we have 30% on 1 to 25%, we have 35% on 26 to 50%, and we have 35% on 51 to 75%. Okay. Interesting. Very even out. Very even out. So... I need... What is the next X event? It's next week, right? Not this week, but next week. I have enough gems. This I do later. Your account hits easy 1k plus in 1 trade, but since you don't have plenty of universal... Yeah, like the account is not that much overworth probably. I don't know, we'll see. I'm probably also not selling it. I'm probably gonna get it as a T5 filling account. So, we'll see what I do with that. This is finally less than a month, by the way. So stupid. Wait, hold on, isn't 3815 and 3806 fighting for the cigarette? Did we already fought? Or did they make an initial agreement? Huh. What? Okay. Here's up, in my opinion, the victims of pilots. They gotta bring the kingdom. That's if they want to stay competitive, they have no choice. Nah, that's the wrong mindset, Asterix. That's the wrong mindset, in my opinion. It shouldn't even matter to have pilots to be competitive. It shouldn't even matter, in my opinion. Like, it should not be even accepted to be called out when you're not having pilots, you're not gonna be competitive enough. That should not be even the case at all, in my opinion. You should not be forced to have pilots. A leader should force the players in the early stage to have pilots, where pilots were not a big thing. They just created the problem even more. But that's not the case, and that's the problem. If everyone does it, you gotta do it that way. Not really. Nah, I'm not agreeing on that. It's gonna be a stupid example, but like, if everyone is smoking, and I mean, or is everyone drinking alcohol, you gotta do it by yourself as well. Just because everyone does it, is it correct to do so? You know, like if that is the perfect example of the crowd just follows what the average one is doing. People smoking, they see other 15-year-old boys vaping, or I gotta vape too because I want to be cool. You know, this is the problem in itself, that the human beings want to be accepted by the society, and that they're forcing themselves into doing something which is technically not right, but everyone does it. You know, it's like, which game doesn't have a dirty mechanic that gets abused and that make everyone else abuse it too, cause you fall behind if not? Yeah, and that's, I don't know. It's probably just my personality hitting on that. Like, it's for me, it's not okay to do so. I don't just simply follow what people doing. I gonna think for myself, and if that is actually correct or not. Because not meta with both meta. It is actually some kind of rampage in the younger generation. It was a huge problem with vaping, for example. When vaping came out as a new thing, and the young generation started to smoke, when everyone was like, oh shit, he's doing it, he's so cool, I gotta do it as myself. It was trending, so trending means meta, you know? So everyone started not everyone, but like a lot of young people just started vaping because they didn't want it to be cut off from the society. They didn't want it to be left alone because everyone was vaping and they not. For example, right? It's the same thing with alcohol. It's the same thing with sex. It's like with everything. Like, especially the young generation is having a huge problem with that, of not thinking for themselves and just following what everyone else does. And it is not just a game thing, right? Like you said, it's also being in sport and esport. It's a whole damn personality thing, in my opinion, where the humans in itself, right? We are social animals. We living in a society. We want to be accepted by the society. We don't want to be cut off from it, right? That's why, for example, if you're lonely by yourself, you have no friends, you have no family, and you're not finding anyone, that it ends up in depression and stuff like that, right? So people just following what other people doing, this doesn't excuse the thing of it is incorrect, but you're doing it, or like everyone is doing, so I do it as well. I don't know. That's what I think. I dislike pilots, but it's not black and white. I know, Rampage, I know. It's not black and white. I think what Little should have done in their past, now it's too late, but what they could have done is just overall not allowing piloting, or like limiting piloting. Let's say, I don't know, like 3 devices max, or like, you know, stuff like that, or like 2 devices max per account. That they could have implemented from the start from the game being announced, because like it was in the TOS the whole time to not share your account. It was there the whole time, so they could have just limited already before it became such a big thing. If they would have already limited and banned then people who abusing that from the start, then it would have never became such a big thing now. So like we always said, blame the game, not the players. Yeah, and that's incorrect. That's incorrect in my opinion. Like you cannot just blame the game. The players created the problem. So The balance change is great. That's really good. Cut piloting, cut pilot totally, but I understand why people used it. Otherwise, you couldn't win on top level of KVKs, and you players would have left it. And that's the thing, right? When I left Rise of Kings like 3 years ago, people didn't even talk about that. People were talking about up and down times and stuff like that. I don't know what happened in the last couple of years that it became such a direction change. It's crazy. Yes, anything like that, Rampage. Anything to prevent this being abused. Because I could tell you, like, if they're already thinking about putting it into the terms of services and telling people in the terms of services, which they agree on, by the way, when you create an account, to not share your account, but when they're accepting it, of course, at some point, people will be abusing that. That's why there are rules, right? If there's no law, for example, from stealing stuff, how many people would go out there and just steal stuff? If there would be no rules, no laws. You know what I mean? Like, there need to be limitation. There need to be some way of rules and laws, because unfortunately, people just not behaving themselves. So, and they're coming back to the point of they follow what others doing, right? So, yeah. You move secondary password, for example? No. Secondary password is for hackers. They cannot just remove that. The real problem are the big spends on the gross accounts can fight all day and night. No free player low time can fight 24/7 non-stop. Yeah. That's true. I mean, I will also not be able to fight 24/7. Right? I have also limitation. I need to be also careful what I spend my speed ups on, what I spend my resources on, you know? Like, I will not be able to fight 24/7. And I invested a good amount of money on this account, you know, so it's there's multiple factors which going into this, which having an impact on this whole thing. But I think we can all agree on that it started by players, especially in the leadership, then making it more of a thing towards pushing their players to have pilots and putting emotional threat on these players. If they're not doing it, then I don't know, they're getting kicked out or they're getting zeroed or stuff like that. And then people doing it, you know, because they don't want to let it out. The thing is, this is also another problem, right? People not standing up for themselves, which is crazy. It is not just in the game; it's about everything in life nowadays. The society nowadays, people just not standing up for themselves. People not just standing up and they cannot accept when someone disagrees with them. They want to be accepted so bad by everyone that they follow just what people say them to do, right? It is so bad. Like, if I would be told by my leadership that if I get a pilot or I will be zeroed, bro, the first thing I'm gonna do is put up a shield and migrate out of that kingdom immediately. Like, you know, don't blame the players, blame the game. That's like saying don't blame the hacker, blame the PC. Or like, it's also the same thing with like, blame the person who got robbed, don't blame the person who robbed the person. It's the same thing, you know? Like, it doesn't make sense. It just makes no sense. But yeah, like, if my leadership would tell me to get a pilot, otherwise I would get zeroed, the first thing I would do is migrate out of a kingdom immediately. To any kingdom, doesn't matter. Like, the first good kingdom I find is the way to go for me then. have Shion. Yeah. The thing is, it's not every leadership, right? That's not what I'm saying. It's not every leadership who's doing that, who's like putting their people onto getting a pilot. But it's a good amount of majority of people doing that, and that having an impact on the game, you know. So we gotta see how the things turning out now with the War Frenzy coming out. I'm very looking forward for that. That's gonna be very interesting to see. Like, how much of an impact it's actually gonna have, and how much people... Hey, no, but what the heck? Is there any KVK going on, by the way? I don't think there's any KVK going on. Like, real fighting. 2666, good one. Is this 2666? Is this a 2666 KVK? Okay, so I assume it's top versus bottom here. Is that how it looks like? Ay. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We have no field control at all. How does people have 4 point... Like, okay, guys, am I tripping on something? 2.2 billion key points. And the ID is a 6-digit ID. Like, how does generally people have so low key points?
Ich bin Meva, Deutschlands führender Anbieter von Betriebstextilien im Rundum-Service. Und du suchst den perfekten Start ins Berufsleben? Bist du bereit für eine Ausbildung in einem von mehr als 17 Ausbildungen?
Is this what a casual player looking like? You playing this game for years?
Zeig uns, was in dir steckt.
Like, I don't get how, like, even if you would be a casual player, let's say you fight for like 1 hour in a war, you're getting more than that over the years, no? That looks so low to me. But like, it's not just him, it's a lot of accounts here. If you're checking these accounts, they all having a lot of low power, low key points.
Zahlt dich aus. Ausbildung, Studium und dein eigenes Gehalt. Im dualen Studium an der FOM Hochschule bieten wir dir die perfekte Kombi. Mehr Infos findest du auf fom.de.
It always amazed me that the most of the kingdoms just fighting at the same time. Right? It's like crazy. I mean, makes sense because of matchmaking. It's just so shit for content creators. Oh damn, we're gonna get this one. That's rip. I knew pilots were getting out of control when I see a Queener get 20 billion in 1 KVK. But what's more crazy, everyone praised the first person that drove people fighting day and night. Yeah. You know what my first reaction was when I saw, like, I don't know, 50, 60 billion is now normal in a KVK gaming? Like, Is people hitting that? Okay, not 50, but like 20 billion. 50 billion is maybe too much, but like 20 billion key points is considered normal now for KVK gaining. Like, I remember it was already a lot when you got 5, maybe even 10 billion in a KVK. You know, like, that's crazy how the key points gaining have changed over the last few years. What? I lost my fort where he was? What? What the heck? What? I just had CC? I just had CC, and that explains. Yeah, no, 100 billion key point just got hit already. Yeah, it's crazy. It's so much. 20 million is not normal. Well, I don't know. For me, 5 billion was already fucking a lot in the KVK. And now people just hitting 10 billion, 20 billion, 15 billion easy. Like. $18. That's 20. That's 27. I need 3 more. Oh, maybe from the Golden Kingdom I will get here. I need 3 more from this one, and then I can craft this. But the thing is, if I have enough. Okay, almost enough. Yeah, for sure. Like the commanders which getting uploaded. Yeah, not uploaded. Released into the game. Like, it's crazy how much keeper. Like QSH, for example. QSH is freaking insane how much key points you can get. Like, look at this. This was my latest Argo Cyrus. Look at this. Starting from this one here. Absolutely stupid. Bro, 700k Slef wounded. 6 million key points just from this one fighting. It's absolutely ridiculous. And that was me 5 marching in Ark of Osiris with like not good micromanagement. I was just most of the time just going in and being swarmed. Like, bro, look at the key points. It's absolutely stupid. I also uploaded here a picture of it. I got at the end almost 110k points. Crazy. Can't wait for the KVK fighting in less than a month. Is there anything going on? Events? Fish catcher? Nothing on events 2. So sad. Freaking 1 month. Freaking another month of wait time for this stupid KVK to finally start. It's crazy. It's crazy. What the heck? Eh? Okay, whatever. Wait, what is the next rotation on egg event? No! Where's my... It was just where? Who deleted my pinned message? Oh my god. Someone deleted my pinned message on the rotation from the egg event. Ay, ay, ay. How did that happen? Wait, am I not the owner? Huh? Wait, why can I not? Guys, what the heck? Did I just lose ownership of this? What? Did I really just lose ownership of my own group? Somehow? How did I lose ownership? What is this, guys? Is this a bug? What the heck? Gotta write the support about this. That's very weird. It's very, very weird. I also recently came back and was surprised by the new drop KP level each KVK. It used to be easy drop 10 every KVK. Yeah, it's crazy. It was for me too when I came back like a couple of months ago. It's crazy how much have changed over the last few years.
Du musst ein paar Sendungen nach Guangzhou schicken, hast aber keine Ahnung, wo das liegt? Keine Sorge, auch nicht mit dem ganzen Papierkram. Nicht dein Stress soll wachsen, sondern dein Unternehmen. Verlass dich deshalb auf die internationalen Versandlösungen von FedEx. Mit digitaler Abwicklung und Sendungsverfolgung hast du keinen Stress und deine Pakete und Paletten weltweit immer im Blick. Denn mit FedEx läuft alles glatt. Feel the FedEx-Effekt. Mehr auf fedex.com/Effekt oder jetzt unten klicken.
Du bist gerade wieder mal von Husten geplagt? Dann nimm ACC. Mit nur einer Brausetablette am Tag löst ACC den Schleim, erleichtert das Abhusten und befreit so die Bronchien. Also bei Husten...
Yeah, but I was the owner of that group.
ACC.
That's what wonders me.
ACC gibt's auch als Kindersaft ab 2 Jahren.
Because I remember I was removing people and putting people on the admin, not admin, as a moderator. I know I did that, but somehow I can't do that anymore. I can just leave the group chat. It must be bugged, right? It must be bugged. Let's see. I hope. Imagine restarting the game and I still don't have it. If that is the case, I'm gonna message VIP support. That's very weird, man. Okay, let's see. Okay. Alright, never mind. Game was bugged. Okay, so we had... What did we had? It was... It was the legs, the helmets, right? So we're gonna get chestplate, gloves, and shoes now. Chestplate, gloves, and shoes. That's perfect. So that means with the gloves I can finish my sacred grip. Gloves, chestplate, shoes. I could go for the Dragon Breath plate then. Or I'm going for Hope Cloak. Since I have already the... Yeah, but I wanna focus my archer. Yeah. I think I'll go for the Chefblade. I'm gonna get the last pieces of the circuit. Actually, I don't even need to do that. Since I just most likely gonna get the choices from the other events, Golden Kingdom and stuff like that. So I can just ignore that. I can just fully focus for my archer set. And I think I would go for the chestplate here. You need the accessory. Yeah, but the accessories is in the next rotation. It's not the upcoming one. The upcoming one is chestplate, gloves, and shoes. We had last one was legs, the legs and helmet. So we're gonna get now chestplate, gloves, and shoes, and I'm gonna go here for the chestplate. Oh wait, which one is better to iconic? For my shoes, I cannot even iconic yet. Enemy attack ignored. No, not the basic attack. 10% chance we reduce the target nothing. Nah, not good. What about this one? 10% chance to gain 5% counter attack damage boost for 2 seconds. No, not good too. Yeah, but I think the chestplate here would be the best. Enemy defense ignored. That would be nice to get. It would be nice to get for sure. I know, I can farm the pendant from caves, but like, yeah, I gotta do it too. So that's another story. To actually also doing it then, to farm it from the keeps, you know? That's something else. Alright. Does someone know when the next big fight is happening, or are all the KVKs over now from the big fake KVKs? Or is there like any fight coming up? Where a lot of I couldn't be in. Oh wait, this KVK. What about this one? Never mind. This KVK is over too. tomorrow. 27-28 versus 23-59. Gotcha, okay. 27-28. Ooh. 3 Imperial Kingdoms. Oh, 1875, 1365 is in here? Okay.
I lost my best friend to 23. She left her body and hovered above me. I saw no shadow. I looked around.
Don't for opening here. Okay.
I saw no shadow, but felt the glow. The warmth inside me.
Okay, interesting. How's part of the leadership problem? Or leadership having is creating or have pushed the pilot problem towards that they forcing people to have a pilot for their account. And that created the pilot problem in itself even bigger, because it usually was at the start just for the big players, just for the crack and stuff like that, right? Who can fight 24/7. But now they're also saying like whales, mid-spenders, like people just generally need to have a pilot on their account. Doesn't matter if they can maintain 24/7 fighting forever. They just need to have, so that in the first days when they're not able to fight, that the pilot can play them on their account. And that's generally what people doing, what leadership is doing. They sending out mails in kingdoms saying that, and that is just pushing the piloting problem even more. It just became a thing over the years because leadership have make this problem even bigger than it could have been by pushing people to have that. And they emotionally abuse people by saying that, for example, they either they're doing it or they're getting zeroed or kicked out and stuff like that. You know, so that's how leadership have a fault on this too. And it's just not just the game. It is actually, in my opinion, it is the game, the player's fault, not the game's fault. So again, leadership is not the entire problem from this pilot problem. But they having a part of this problem. They created a part of the problem. That's the correct English. So that's why I asked this poll. I want to see what you guys think about that. If you need a pilot, you're in the wrong place. Leadership cannot decide what time these passes open, etc. It is the individual's fault, not pilots or leadership. You can't meet your goals playing. It's not. You should be in a different lower seed kingdom, in my opinion. Everything in the world has levels to it. And they will set the standards for their own account, no? Technically, yeah. Right? I mean, the thing is, leadership emotionally abuse people by saying they're getting an account or their account being zeroed. Like, or they're getting kicked out. Now let's say you have a group of friends you're playing with, and you one of a few of that group who don't want to use a pilot, but others doing it. And now you being forced to either doing it or you being forced to be playing in a different kingdom. Right? Like I don't say leadership is the entire problem behind that. I just say they playing a role in that problem by forcing people with threats to get in a pilot on their account for the time being when they can't play their account, which I think it's overall not okay to do anything like that. It's not just piloting an account. It's have anything to do with leadership, going to the person and saying, you need to do this and this. You need to do this and this. That's the problem. Leadership have not the right to say anything about anyone's account. But yet there's leadership out there who is doing that exactly and abusing their standpoint by telling the people to get that pilot or they can't play in this kingdom. So yeah, exactly, Faro. Like people not stepping up for themselves, leadership abusing that situation. Like there's many parts of the reason why pilot became such a problem on Rise of Kingdoms. It is not just one single thing. There's a lot of factors which play into this problem, which just all lead towards this problem, that it became so massive now at the end. So it's hard to say, right? So like we said, leaders should never tell. They can suggest, but at the end of the day, it's a game. Wait, if my leaders would tell me I need to get a pilot, or I cannot play in this kingdom anymore, I will say, okay, good, I migrate out. I find another kingdom, right? So that's it. I'm not someone who's letting myself being told what I will do or not do. In some type of, like, there's a difference between account management and war management, for example. The war leading, people need to tell people what to do, because if they don't do and everyone just do what the fuck they want to do, then you cannot win as a team, right? It is a team game. But there's like it's like the difference between, in real life, for example, right? There's a difference between your personal life and if you would go to war and you need to listen to someone. It's the same thing, right? Or your personal life or your work life, right? It's always like what have you to do with your personal life should be always told by yourself what you want to do. But when it comes to a different thing, where it's like work or war, or you buy something, whatever it is, which have nothing to do with your war, with your personal life, I don't know, like it could be anything, haircut, for example, right? Where people have no right to tell you what to do. You know what I mean? Like it's if I spend $1,000 a KVK, I do expect my account to have maximum uptime. Yeah, but I will not use a pilot because of that. Like, if you spend that amount of money, it's your own personal decision. And I don't know. The thing is, I usually don't have anything against piloting, because as long as there's human being behind that, it's fine to me. But the thing is, it just became so much of a problem that it is imbalancing the game in itself. That's how worse it is already. That it's already, that is unbalancing the game. So that's how I see it. Like, I always prefer the real life a little bit into this. For example, right, it's a war game, and in the real life war, you can also not just have someone else stepping up and take your place, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's I know it sounds silly and it's not really comparable, but like I always try to look after like how it would be in real life, like how would it be compared in real life. I know it's a game at the end and it doesn't really make sense to do so, but like it gives you a good comparison towards, you know, what you would like to do in real life and not, you know, stuff like that, or what would happen in real life and what not. Correct my decision to use a pilot. There was always somebody. Okay, but then my counter question is, why do you even spend on a game and then don't play it by yourself? That's what I usually don't understand in itself. Why would you spend on a game and then don't play by yourself? If frontline sleeps in real life, second life holds the fort. So exactly like, huh? I mean, like I said, I personally don't have something against piloting. If someone wants to do it, it's up to themselves. But it bothers me when it unbalances the game and taking the fun out of the game. You know, but that when it bothers me, and I will say something against that. Right, like it, like you said, it's a pilot, right? So it's a game. So then, if you can't play, then you should also not play. You know, that's it. It's the same thing with other games. If you like, it could be said with any game, right? It could be said with League. It could be said with any strategy game. Like, you're also not paying there someone to play for you, or a story game. You're also not paying someone to play your story game which you bought to tell you then what happened. You know what I mean? It makes no sense in that aspect. If you can't play the game, then don't do it, in my opinion. Right? Like, again, everyone can decide by themselves, but it is now bothering me because it became to a point where it unbalanced the game. So that's why, for example, bringing up examples like, perfect example, story game, right? You buy a story game to play it for yourself. So if you can play it for yourself because real life stuff happens, family, kids, work, whatever, then you don't play it, right? So what is the difference between that and Rise of Kingdoms? Just because it's a multiplayer game? Because it's war game? Like, you know?
She got a body, and she been calling me daddy lately. Want me to put her in Cartier's.
People paying people in League to boost their account through. Yeah, again, yeah, I know that's also a thing, which I find absolutely stupid. When people boosting their account, when you play in a league which is not meant for you, when you're getting absolutely clapped, and in the worst case, you're just gonna lose the account because it's being boosted, and right, it's actually banning people who boosting. And they just, lately, they just going even more against that. Exactly. For instance, you spend phone on a game in a high seed kingdom without big spenders, but with KVK, you just came into your going on holiday or want to spend time with family. The game is still going, I guess, is what it was. Wait, the game is still going, but like everyone has that, right? Everyone has things happening in real life. But the thing is, it's like everyone just wants to stay, I don't know, get key points or whatever. Like, I don't know. For me personally, I will never let someone part of my account. I want to achieve everything by myself. I'm not satisfied if I log in on my account and I see 90% of the key points on that account is being made by someone else, not by myself. I'm just not being satisfied by that. It seems like other people are satisfied by that. That's their own decision. I cannot agree with that. Because if I play a game, I want to achieve it by myself, right? It can be anything. It could the strategy. If I win the story game, it's being made by myself. If I win the league game, it's being made by myself with my teammates, right? Stuff like that. So. All about micromanaging. If you don't fight with KVK the last few years making friends in the community in UK, you would quit over a pilot? I would not quit. If you cannot play one KVK, then be it so. You know. Pilots in KVK is one thing. Let's bring up the people who have pilots for barbshing day and night. You go in the KVK and people had 100k honor in 1 week of KVK. Yeah, that's another thing. It's personal decision for each person, and in a competitive game most of the time will be such things like piloting and cheating, but only because it will allow it. I mean, you cannot really cheat and like you cannot do that in competitive games. Like you cannot do it in league games. You cannot do it in CS:GO or any other competitive game. Like the players need to play by themselves, right? So how can you call it competitive if you don't do it by yourself? If the person who owns the account is not playing by themselves, right? How can that be competitive? In my opinion, that is not competitive. It is something else, but it's not competitive. Competitiveness would be if all the players in that KVK would play themselves. No one else playing it on the account, and whoever wins because of their players being more dedicated, found more time, whatever it is. But when pilots being in the game, in my opinion, it's not competitive in that type of form, and not anymore. It's something else, but it's not competitive. Competitiveness is for me. I play against someone else who own that account. For example, in League, right? Best example, you have 5 versus 5, and I play against someone. Most of the 99% of the cases is against the person who I'm playing against is also the owner of that account. So. In time to tell me if I gave my friend my CSO account as pet piloting. I mean, the form of piloting doesn't change because of the game, right? Piloting in itself is gonna stay the same. Doesn't matter what the game is. So you can call it boosting, you can call it sharing, you can call it piloting. It's at the end, it's all the same. You can just name it differently, but It's basically the same thing. When it comes to competitiveness and sharing accounts, when it's just starting to be controversial for me. It's just not real competitive anymore because someone else playing on the account, which you own. We need the same. Do you get paid for live to play the game or tournaments? No, so this isn't a very competitive game. Of course it does. What benefits do I have? My friend plays Marco 30 account. Keep in my mind, I'm T253 seasons. I mean, again, for me personally, what I think when it comes to competitive or overall rank modus is like when people fight against other people, it doesn't matter if you're getting paid for it or not. But the moment when you fight against other human beings, it could be any. You can take any game. It doesn't matter which game, but any game which have a multiplayer mode where you can play against other humans. In that moment, when you play against other humans, for me, it's some type of form of competitiveness. And in my opinion, if someone else is paying for your account, it's just losing this some type of competitiveness which you have when you play against other people. Because you play, if you let someone play on your account, most likely it's just gonna be, like most of the cases, it's gonna be someone better to boost that account. Like for example in League, right? So it's just not something like the own person achieved. It's someone else achieved that for you. I don't think personally that is the way to go for me. And I think people just should play by themselves. And like, if they cannot play, then they cannot play. But like, what is the fun of someone else playing for your account and boosting your account or getting yourself the stuff what you want on the account, and then you see that and you didn't achieve it by yourself. Someone else did it for you. I don't see where the fun factor behind that is, in my opinion. I don't see the fun factor. Like, I'm sorry, I cannot see that. The thing is also, for example, this doesn't really make sense to say. Never mind. I mean, like I said, in itself, piloting in itself it's whatever. Like, it's anyone's own decision making. It's just starting to bother me when it unbalanced the game. In a League game, sure, you can say it unbalanced if someone from a diamond rank plays in the gold lobby, right? For sure, it's unbalanced the game. However, it's still a gold lobby, so anything can happen, right? I also had one already against diamond or master players. Like, it's not impossible to do so. People doing mistakes, right? But it's like, just because someone is playing on that account, like for example, League it's a 5 teammate game. So just someone on that other account, other team with the diamond players in trolling around, and then the diamond player losing the game because of that, right? It's something else when, for example, in Rise of Kings, when you have 100 account being piloted 24/7, right? you see the difference too when you have like basically 90% of the players in a KVK being piloted. It just unbalances them out in the KVK. Yeah, again, yeah, for it's again the same thing. Others doing it, I do it by myself. It's the same statement, like, no. Just no. Right? Exactly my point. You can make a bunch of friends, but one bad KVK you kick. If you have... Okay, let's say... Okay, hold on. If you're having 10 KVKs played in one kingdom, 9 out of these KVKs you were like, let's say, top 25 competitor. In one KVK, something came up in real life and you said it to your leadership, and because of that they're kicking you out, is not your fault then. It's the leadership fault. And here again, we're coming to a leadership problem. Leadership don't have sometimes the humanity skills and accepting that people have a real life. A lot of leadership don't have it. And it's bothering me because I'm by myself. I'm a king. 4, co-op 5. I was it all. And it bothers me a lot to see that because of one type of situation, people not getting a chance is like crazy to me. If you have someone performing for months, for years in your KVK, in your kingdom, you know this person, you played a lot with that person, and then one KVK coming up and this person told you in real life something happened. Let's say a kid was born, a wedding happening, whatever it is, and because of that, the leadership deciding to kick that person out, which you played with for a year, for 2 years together. That's not the player's problem. That's the leadership problem, because they are so short-minded on that aspect. So it is, and here again, we're coming to the main point of the stream, which is leadership problem, creating this piloting problem. So half of you moaning about pilots, but you buy resources. Why the difference between buying resources and letting someone else playing on the account is the fact that if you buy resources, it is not doing anything unless you're playing it by yourself. But if someone else playing your account, it's being actively used. But if you buy resources, it cannot be actively used unless you buying it, unless you playing it. I don't say it is correct or it is not against the TOS. It is. I think it is against the TOS to sell resources, right? You can get banned for that, but there is a slightly difference why the community accept this resource seller more than the piloting, and that is the simple fact that if you buy resources, you cannot do anything with the resources unless someone actively paying that account. And that is, you can have tens of billions of resources in the account, but if you're not playing it, it doesn't matter, right? So.
Ihr müsst nicht von Bank zu Bank fahren. Bei uns bekommst du in 6 Folgen easy alles mit, was du wissen musst. Investieren, aber richtig. Jetzt reinhören.
Now, let's be frank, that's not really true. Even low spender buying resources. I would say like 99% of the people buying resources.
Lassen Sie den Winter hinter sich und erleben Sie einen perfekten Sommer in New South Wales. Jetzt mit Turkish Airlines nach Sydney.
Waste another day, eyes on my display. You say we need a change and I feel that you mean it. You mean it.
Like, if you're talking about cheating in itself, that's the thing, right? If you're talking about cheating, when literally 100% of the people, okay, no, 99% of the people playing Rise of Kingdoms would be banned because for piloting or resource buying. One of these two reasons would get 99% of the people being banned in Rise of Kingdoms when we're talking about the terms of services. And if Lilith legit would ban anyone who's going against that. When you would legit ban 99% of the player base. It's funny. To ensure, we advise governors not to engage in activities that involve buying or selling account. These account transactions are not protected by official authority. Well, now they have their own thing because, you know, they cannot get rid of that, so they're just making it officially by themselves. It's not just the big players buying resources, guys. It's also low spenders who buying resources. Mid spenders also buying resources. Like at some point of the game, you don't need commanders anymore. You don't need troops anymore. But what you need is resources. So, yeah. In a game like this, you cannot accept cheating for resource and call or pilots. It's a tricky thing. It's a tricky thing because you cannot compare resources buying versus piloting. It's too much of a difference. Like I said, if you buy resources but just playing by yourself, it is still just being yourself playing it, right? So, but if you have a pilot playing on your account, then the account just being 24/7 online, it's just unfair in that term. Like, it's a difference why resource sellers are more accepted than pilots. If I can afford a pilot and you cannot. If you can buy reason, I cannot. Yeah, but the thing is why piloting is such a problem is because it's like, first of all, if you buy resources, you still need to speed up. So at some point you will be capped out on speed ups, and speed ups you can only buy via in-game or like getting with in-game stuff. There's no way to via a third-party program to get speed ups, right? So if you buy resources, you also need to have the speed ups. If you don't have speed ups, you cannot fight. The thing is why piloting is such a problem is because all the big spenders can afford to maintain a 24/7 activity with their account because they're just buying speed ups. They're just buying resources. And when they have pilots too, which can play the game for them 24/7. That's why the piloting is such an issue, because the big spenders and maybe also the mid-spenders can maintain this, while others just buying resources and play by themselves. That's like why the pilots is such a, is more being negative viewed when buying resources, because buying resources means at the end you still need to play by yourself, and you still need to have the speed ups. If you don't have the speed ups, it doesn't matter if you have resources. So. Researchers should be very careful and very aware that once you start messing with profit, this is now messing with the company BeastSlef. Yeah. Yo, Lambo, how you doing, man? How you doing?
Du willst Kartenzahlung anbieten, ganz einfach, ohne extra Gerät? Dann mach's dir leicht.
The one and only Lambo.
EDK wird dein Android-Smartphone zum Kartenterminal. Die smarte Lösung für dein Business. Ob auf dem Wochenmarkt, im Café oder unterwegs. Du bleibst flexibel und kannst sogar monatlich kündigen. Jetzt auf Zahlungswerk.
Again, if he's just talking about the fact of anything going against you, as when all the resource sellers would be banned, all the pilots should be banned, all the people who bought resources should be banned, because it's not just selling the resource, it's also buying the resource, both parties. The thing is, the buyer is more likely getting away with that because you're just buying it for someone, not actively selling it. So the buyer is most likely getting less punished away with that, but like the resource seller is the one who's being targeted because he's actively promoting to sell resources. Like if you're talking just about the cheating part and just about what is going against the US, when, like I said, 99% of the players of the accounts would be banned in this game. Because someone either doing piloting or buying resources. There's just a very few amount of players who are not doing both of these. I do not accept money for service. I enjoy the game and helping build accounts. You learn a lot, to be honest, but either way I have my own account. Yeah, but even if you say you're not accepting money for servers, you're still piloting, right? The bigger account? So it's still, I mean, you still, even if you're not accepting it, you're still piloting. Or am I misunderstanding or something? I pilot a friend's account. We start a game together, but they do not have the time, as someone said earlier. They just have a mess view. Oh, okay, I see. My problem is not a couple of friends sharing or playing on each other's account. My issue is these paid piloting groups going from kingdom to kingdom that can drastically change the balance of multiple KVKs. Exactly, Limbo. That's exactly my point. I also don't have against anyone like sharing accounts with friends, for example, right? I don't have any problem with that. Like, that's how it started to be, that people, like friends, shared their accounts and to help each other out. That's not an issue at all. The problem, like I said, is like these piloting which unbalancing the game, and that are in case these big pilot group, these services out there, which being actively also promoted by the leadership, right? This is the issue. The leadership forcing you to get a pilot, plus they have pilot services out, which making the game unbalanced. I don't have a fucking problem. I never had. Like I said, if you look up streams from 3 years ago, you can look up, and I will also say that I don't have specifically anything against piloting if someone helping each other out or something. But the moment it became it becoming a problem in terms of the balance of the game, in the way of the unbalance what it is already, which is the pay to win aspect. But the pay to win aspect of buying, for example, speed ups, it's one thing. But if then also on top of that the account is being 24/7 actively played on, and not just by the person who buying the stuff on the account, it is two different things for me. If someone buying the stuff for themselves for the account and then also playing it for themselves, or if they buying it and then someone else playing it, it's two different things. And I think we should separate these things and not putting both of these into the same on the same table. Yeah, you have the same opinion on that. Like, it's for me the same, Limbo. It's for me the same. I will not let someone else play my account and achieve stuff on my account. Well, I'm a little bit different on that part, but like key points, stats, that stuff is like I don't yeah. Yeah, that's a personal reason, Faro, right? That's a personal reason for yourself why you dislike pilots, which is understandable. But again, that only happens if you share your account with people you don't know. If you share it with your friends, which you know from real life, most likely nothing gonna happen. You know, like, I mean, if your friend fucking up your account and doing shit like where you spend money on, then the friendship gonna probably end. But that's something else. If I would, for example, ask if any one of my friends even would do it, they wouldn't even do it because they don't play the game. But like if one of my friends, for example, would play the game, and I would ask them if they could play the account for me, I know they wouldn't do anything, you know, because I know them. I know them since years, since the school time, you know. That's something else versus the pilot services which you pay for. It's two different things. Like, it's a sensitive topic, and it's a topic which just became so big because of the change what Lilith recently did. It was already big before, but it just heated everything up, right? I find just that's very interesting to talk about and see the different points of views on that. Alright, guys. I will slowly end here now the stream. I really have enjoyed the talking with you. I really appreciated everyone's thoughts and opinion sharing. I find it very important that you taking nowadays the time and talking about controversial topics and listening to not just one side and just shut down the other side. I think listening to both sides and giving people a room to speak up and share their opinion without anyone is, going against that opinion is very important. And it needs to be done when you want to change anything. I think it's very important to share your thought process, your opinion, and why you think is that is correct and why is not correct and stuff like that. So thanks everyone for coming to the stream, sharing your opinion. I really appreciate it. I will also say very appreciated that no one said anything against anyone's opinion in terms of threatening or like hurting or something like that. Everyone just listened, read the comments, and then gave their own opinion to that. That's very rare to see. So I'm very happy to have such a community like you all guys. It's always refreshing to have such a, let's say, open community in that aspect of that we are open to listening to everyone's opinion and then giving our own thought process on that. I'm not sure when I do the next stream, but I have some streams planned talking about a little different things on the game, what is going on, what I think about that, and just wanted to then listen to your thought process behind that. Like today, for example. Will be in the next couple of days. Will be another topic. I will then announce it on the stream. You will see it then. And until then, guys, take care of yourself. Very important. Stay healthy, stay safe, take care of your friends and family. And with that, much love to all of you guys. Enjoy your week. And we see us then very soon on the next stream. Goodbye, guys.